It's a foul-tasting, vomit-inducing concoction, but it's got thousands queuing to try it. Ayahuasca is an hallucinogenic cocktail made from jungle vines, and everyone from Sting to Paul Simon is trekking into the Amazon to test its supposedly magic properties. It's now the fastest growing area of drug tourism, and Australians of all ages are flocking to Peru to share the experience. Ayahuasca is powerful enough to be declared illegal here, but it's far from a party drug. For many, it is akin to a religious experience. For others, it is a road to hell.
Most ayahuasqueros prefer working with their own medicine.
It's one of the strangest journeys I've ever taken.
For an ayahuasquero, it can also be dangerous.
An expedition into the Peruvian jungle to discover the secret of ayahuasca. For many, it's a magical plant medicine that's changed their lives.
My life just fell into place. I sold my house, divorced my husband, quit my 5 jobs, gave away my 3 cats, all in a period of 6 months.
Thank you for all you give us, O Lord.
To others, like the bloke who calls himself the Gringo Shaman, ayahuasca is liquid gold. Is it lucrative?
I think it's very lucrative.
And for one grieving father, it's what's brought him here on the most difficult of quests, to discover who or what killed his son.
He was dragged across the jungle. My son was buried in a 6-foot pit.
In the dark heart of the Amazon, the sound of ancient ceremonies echo through the jungle, just as they have for thousands of years. But tonight, it's different. The shaman, the medicine man, has an Aussie accent.
Estamos purificados. We are being purified.
And at this ceremony, in a remote part of the Peruvian rainforest, many of the participants are Australian too.
Todos los males. They heal all illnesses.
They've come here on a spiritual journey to drink ayahuasca, following in the footsteps of celebrities like Sting and Paul Simon.
It's lovely,
Believing its famous hallucinogenic qualities will give clarity to their life.
It's sort of my mission, I guess. I was told by ayahuasca to heal yourself so you could heal the world.
Advocates of ayahuasca almost sound like missionaries.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? A guy asked us once if we were a cult, and we just went, oh, no.
Maybe not, but Tracy Thornbury and her brother Mark have become so convinced of the healing power of ayahuasca, they left Australia 6 years ago to build their own retreat here in Peru. Both former heroin addicts themselves, Mark and Tracy believe ayahuasca can help people overcome depression, anxiety and dependency. So with the people who've come through your healing centres, have you seen people get rid of their addictions?
Yes.
Serious lifelong addictions?
Yes, yeah. With the ayahuasca, it comes up and it comes out. And you can just let it go. And I've seen people let go of things that they've been holding on to for such a long time.
It's been described as psychotherapy on steroids. And tonight, a bunch of Australians are going to test its powers.
Salud.
Even for experienced ayahuasca devotees like Terry, there's some apprehension.
I'm really scared. There's really deep fear in there somewhere. I don't go with the flow. So maybe we can get through that tonight.
Let's see.
Please.
Ayahuasca is not for the faint-hearted. It's a foul-tasting concoction that usually causes vomiting. Tonight's ceremony is conducted by a local Shipibo Indian woman who ladles out the brew under Mark's guidance.
She'll whistle, very gentle whistle into the medicine to wake up the spirit of ayahuasca and invite her to come and be part of the ceremony.
As the ayahuasca starts to take effect, candles are blown out and the experience begins. If it goes to plan, they'll be tripping for the next 3 or 4 hours.
You cannot escape yourself. There's no hiding. You can't lie to ayahuasca.
Yeah, can you take me into that moment? What were you seeing?
Into that moment, I was going back into my childhood. I pulled my mother and my father into ceremony. I was able to clear a lot of stuff at that moment, but then I started to cry for the loss of my childhood. And I died. I could see my body beneath the earth. And then I gave birth to myself. Everything had changed at that moment. And it's like the veil lifts and you can see what really is.
I was seeing visions of snakes, I was seeing visions of horrible things. And it showed me a picture of like a cross between a squid and alien, a slimy alien. It was horrible.
Do you consider the visions hallucinations?
It's more real than here. If you actually get into the visions, more real than here.
I had a vision of a beautiful orange man, naked to the waist, holding his hand out. It was like it was an invite. And I realised that this was the seed of the marigold. So the plants called me in, and it's what I came here for, to connect with the spirit of the plants.
So, Ron, do you always cook your own brew?
I always cook my own brew, yeah.
Ayahuasca is brewed from a vine that grows wild in the jungle.
This here is black ayahuasca.
Right. And if anyone can find it, it's this man, Ron Wheelock, the gringo shaman, an American who's lived here in Peru for 16 years.
It's really full of water. The water's good.
The ayahuasca vine on its own is not hallucinogenic.
Would you like to try?
No,
It's very good water.
It's only when cooked up with the leaves of another plant containing the substance DMT, tastes like fresh water, that it creates an out-of-world experience. How much brew will it make for you?
Probably a litre or 2.
If it looks potent, it is. Ron Wheelock's brew is legendary for its hallucinogenic power. In fact, he's now exporting the stuff all around the world, including to Australia, where it's illegal. How big is the demand?
I can't keep up with orders.
How much do you sell your bottles for?
I get $250 a litre, plus shipping and handling.
Does that make you a drug trafficker?
Could say that. If you want to call ayahuasca a drug.
Well, I guess where it's illegal, it's considered a drug.
Uh-huh. In the legal terms, yes, I would say. I would be considered a drug trafficker.
We ask for beautiful visions, cleansings of our bodies, healings, teachings.
Ron, as you may have guessed, is a bit of a wild card in the ayahuasca community. A man who makes his own rules and presides over ceremonies in his own very distinctive manner.
Para llevar todas nuestras enfermedades. Sunikunka. Ya chapayana ja ewan.
Who should drink ayahuasca?
Anyone 8 years and above age or can drink ayahuasca.
Well, who shouldn't drink ayahuasca?
My teacher taught us no one is in harm of drinking ayahuasca No one dies before their time. Ayahuasca has nothing to do with it.
So the French woman who had a heart attack and died after taking ayahuasca, it was her time, it wasn't the ayahuasca.
It was her time, but ayahuasca does raise the blood pressure. It does.
So do you think your teacher might be wrong?
We're all capable of being wrong.
Ayahuasca is dangerous if you're on antidepressants or have a heart condition. But more important still is finding the right medicine man. For one young American, Carl Nolan, placing his trust in the wrong shaman would prove to be a fatal mistake.
Kyle was 18 years old. He had no pre-existing conditions. He was in great health. And so if it happened to Kyle, it can happen to anybody.
Carl's father, Sean, had no fears for his son. He was heading to a well-known retreat called Shimbra under the care of a supposedly respected shaman, Maestro Mancoluto.
Mi nombre sería Mancoluto. Representa a la persona que sabe mucho más allá de lo que saben todos los demás, que tiene un sexto, séptimo sentido.
The website promised all participants in the ayahuasca ceremony will be attended to. That was a lie. They were not attended to.
Left on his own and under the spell of ayahuasca, Carl wandered into the rainforest where he died. The shaman first denied and then finally confessed to burying Carl's body in the jungle.
And what do you think Carl would have made of this? So he was an 18-year-old.
Now Sean Nolan has come to Peru, to the frontier town of Puerto Maldonado, retracing the steps of his son. It's incredible how overgrown it is within such a short amount of time.
It truly is. It looks like an ancient ruin.
When we arrive, we find Shimbra has been abandoned. Would you like to go up and have a look?
Sure.
In just 18 months, the jungle has already reclaimed the multi-million-dollar retreat.
I'm very sorry my son had to die here alone. That's how I feel. I wasn't with him, and he was here alone. And I feel guilty too that I didn't do the research, to dig a little deeper into the shaman.
The cause of Carl's death is still unknown, and Mancoluto is now in jail. But new retreats are opening almost every week and are flourishing. It's clear the risks aren't stopping the ayahuasca pilgrims. It may not be for everyone, but most of those I met found it a positive experience, and for some, a life-changing one.
Do you feel better for it?
Oh yeah, I do. Oh yeah, every day. Yeah, every day I'm at peace. I'm really peaceful. It's really hard to talk about it, to put it into words, but you know that it works.
Hello, I'm Tara Brown. Thanks for watching. To keep up with the latest from 60 Minutes Australia, make sure you subscribe to our channel. You can also download the 9Now app for full episodes and other exclusive 60 Minutes content.